Miau und willkommen zurück zu Let's Play The Legend of Heroes, Trails in the Sky, the Third. Und ja, ich habe jetzt gerade mit Endlace das hier nochmal gemacht, ne? Diesmal habe ich gewonnen. Holy crap, I did it! Well, it looks like my skills have a lot of room for improvement. Alright, the victor is decided. Sheathe your blades. So, diesmal haben wir es geschafft und ich bin mal gespannt, was wir dafür bekommen. So, Endlace. Ja gut, das kennen wir den ganzen Rest. Wir sehen uns dann wieder, ne? Wir sehen uns wieder, wenn es was Neues gibt. Ich möchte mal gucken, was wir jetzt hier als Reward dafür bekommen. So. Bekommen wir jetzt das Reward dafür? Ginu, also ein Schwert. Ich hatte ja irgendwie gehofft. Das kann nur sie benutzen, oder? Ja. Und das macht sie schlechter als das, was sie jetzt hat. Ich hätte ja irgendwie gehofft, dass wir für die Arena da das nächste Teil kriegen, aber sieht nicht so aus. Also gehe ich nochmal in den Hermit's Garden zurück. Und tausche sie nochmal wieder gegen Ren. Jo. Okay. Ich passe meine Ordnance gerade nochmal an und dann würde ich sagen, gehen wir weiter in die 7. Ebene. So, willkommen jetzt zurück auf der Scenic Route. Ne? Oben lang war das, glaube ich, wo wir lang müssen. Wenn mich nicht alles täuscht. Dann war das... Na, wir hätten doch unten lang gemusst. Egal, dann bekommen wir nochmal einen schönen Blick. Auf die Scenic Route. Da wollte ich gar nicht hin. Was ist passiert? Hier muss ich lang, oder? Ja, gut. Dann bin ich ja jetzt hier fast schon da. Ich brauche mir auch keine Gedanken mehr machen, dass Gegner in mich reinlaufen, weil ich jetzt Tida dieses eine Gem ausgerüstet habe. Das eine Quartz ausgerüstet habe, das als Ornament. Und jetzt sind alle Kämpfe, in die ich reinkomme, habe ich jetzt den Vorteil. Mist. Well, once again, we're in for some fun times, I bet. No telling what it could be, but we'll have to walk through here eventually. Just take a deep breath and step inside, I guess. Was werden wir wohl vorfinden? Und wir brauchen auf jeden Fall eine Tür, die wir noch nicht gefunden haben. Sind wir jetzt da, wo wir eben waren? Wir sind doch von genau hier da reingegangen, ne? Huh. How did we end up back here? It looks like there's some kind of condition for advancing into the next area in this case, too. I think we might actually need to have Reese with us. Oh nein! Willst du mich jetzt verarschen? Reese? Do we now? How come her? If my other theory is right, and I think it is, this is a fairly safe deduction to make. Still, the fastest way to be sure is to give this a whirl. Let's get Reese and have her come with us. Ja, und wen soll ich dafür jetzt aus meiner Gruppe rausschmeißen, Kevin? Oh, warum denn? Ich mag das nicht, dass einem ständig aufgezwungen wird, bestimmte Menschen mitzunehmen, nachdem man sich so an die Gruppe gewöhnt hat, die man jetzt hat. Has a low stamina but incredible arts, not limited by lines. Ja, toll. Tida. Tida ist meine Hauptangreiferin, die kann ich... Och Mann, ey. Warum muss ich Reese mitnehmen? Ich hätte so viel lieber Ren dabei, aber ich muss jetzt ja auf Ren verzichten, damit Reese mitkommen kann. Ich kann sie jetzt nicht mal mehr mit Ornaments weiter ausrüsten, weil ich die Ornaments eben alle weggegeben habe für die anderen Charakter. Habe ich irgendein Schwert, was für Reese gut ist? Wow. Da hier, equip das mal. Toll. Ja, ist okay. Ich will doch einfach nur jetzt... Ich habe keinen Bock auf Ries. Jetzt muss ich den Weg wieder dahin laufen. Dann gehen wir diesmal gleich in diese Richtung. So, runter. Ries ist halt auch voll unterlevelt verglichen mit dem Rest der Gruppe. Aber sie macht immer noch mehr Schaden als Kevin. So, jetzt darf ich da doch lang gehen, oder? Und wo führt uns das jetzt hin? Aha. Was auch immer das ist. Where? I knew it. Where are we now? It doesn't look like Erbe Royal Villa at least. Oh, you're right. Das hat irgendwas mit der Kirche zu tun. Wait, isn't that the church emblem? Kevin. Okay. Das ist also noch nicht die 8. Ebene, ne? In der 8. Ebene darf ich doch bitte wieder Ries austauschen gegen wen anders. Welcome to Astor House. The place where Ries, Rufina and I grew up together. Ah. Also haben wir jetzt hier... Safe. Also haben wir jetzt hier das Kapitel abgeschlossen. Ich hoffe so, dass wir fürs Final Battle wieder Rennen mit reinnehmen dürfen. Und jetzt nicht gezwungen sind, sie zu benutzen. Vielleicht ist der Lord of Phantasma ja Rufina. Wer weiß. Machen wir gleich mal weiter. Jetzt geht es wahrscheinlich wieder los mit einer Rückblende von Kevin. Früher. Chapter 7, The Distant Flames. Ja. Astor House. This is only a copy of Astor House, yes? But it looks so... Yeah, I can barely bring myself to accept it's not the real thing. Everything from the feel of the earth underfoot to the smells in the air are just like the real thing. Yeah. So this is where the two of you grew up? Judging by the emblem at the entrance, I take it this is a facility operated by the Septian Church? That's right. It's what's called a gospel facility. I think of them as a cross between an orphanage and a monastery. I see. So that means you're... Well, no reason to dance around it, so... Yep, I'm an orphan. And how I came to be here is a story best saved for another day. Feels weird being back here again, though. It's been about 5 years. 5 years, 5 very long years. Well, anyway, we're bound to find some kind of clue as to how to get to the 7th plane somewhere in here. You guys up for having a look around the area with me? Yeah, let's go. Dann hoffe ich mal tatsächlich, dass wir die 7. Ebene wieder ohne sie betreten können. Ohne Ries. Was ist denn da? There's an empty well. We used to get our drinking water out of here. We had no fancy old pumps either. We did it all using a good old-fashioned bucket with a string attached. It was a nightmare. Tell me about it. We would go out on winter mornings and come back with our hands numb and red raw. But looking back on the whole experience now, it was fun in its own way. I guess it was. Da war Spaß dran. An kaputten Händen war Spaß dran. Es klang jetzt für mich nicht, als ob da irgendein Aspekt dran spaßig gewesen sein könnte. So, gehen wir mal hier rein. Ist das eine Waffenkammer? Nee, eine Werkzeugkammer oder so. Oder der Speisesaal. Da liegen jedenfalls Werkzeuge hier links in der Ecke. What's this room? Sieht nach einem Speisezimmer aus, ne? This is the living room where we used to have all of our meals. Ja, und du hattest ganz besonders viele Meals, ne? Just don't make the mistake of thinking it was a warm place like Mercy Orphanage. The matron here was a stubborn old sister who was strict as could be. Every mealtime we had to pray so much that our stomachs had given up on getting fed by the end of it, and we got yelled at for the tiniest thing. That sounds like about what you'd expect from a church-run orphanage though, I suppose. You deserved it all, in my opinion. You never did as you were told. It caused her nothing but grief. Okay, I'll admit that's probably accurate, but still. Ja, man muss mit Kindern Geduld haben und darf sie nicht anschreien, auch wenn sie kleine Scheißblagen sind. Ach ja. As you can probably guess, this right here is the kitchen. Ich wollte gerade sagen, warum steht da ein Bett, aber das ist ein Tisch. This is where the older children of the facility did the cooking. It was also Ree's favorite place to sneak into whenever she had a hankering for some food. Kevin? There's a sight I can hardly imagine. That's so sweet. Please, don't take everything he says at face value. Aber du isst wirklich sehr viel. Well, anyway. This was always Rufina's turf back when she was still here. She was always out here around mealtime making food for me, Reese, and the other kids. After she left, Reese and I took over her position. That brings back memories. Of course, then you left too, leaving me to handle it all alone. The mere thought aggravates me. In fact, I think you should whip up something right now to make up for your selfishness. Yes, ma'am. I'll make you something, later. The only thing less reliable than a promise with later attached to the end is one said by you. I'm not going to get my hopes up. Man, no faith in me, huh? Was ist denn hier alles noch? Ah, hier ist noch was gelagert. Können wir hier irgendwas mitgehen lassen? Nein. Aber hier oben ist noch was, ne? Es gibt ein Obergeschoss. Ach, das sieht aus wie ein Zimmer. Von der Schwester hier. The Matron, habe ich mir fast schon gedacht. This was the Matron's room. No one's here now. Though. Yeah. By the way, Reese. How's the Matron these days? She's fine. Her injuries weren't lasting. She hasn't had the energy she used to ever since retiring, unfortunately. She really wanted to see you again, Kevin. She did, huh? Warum? Ich dachte, er hat ihr so viel Ärger gemacht. Vielleicht deswegen, um sich zu rächen. Um ihn nochmal richtig zu verkloppen. This here's the kids' bedroom. I slept here back when I was first taken in before graduating to the boys' bedroom. You never really did mix well with the other children. Rufina had such a hard time trying to get you to make friends with them. It was a real ordeal for her, you know. Yeah, I know. I was like a little hedgehog who didn't want to let anyone get near back then. I feel sorry for everyone who had to put up with me. Hedgehog ist, passt super zu seiner Frisur, ne? Auch wenn Ren ihn als, was war das, als Seegras oder sowas bezeichnet hat. Irgendwie sowas. I'm still amazed you even bothered trying to be friendly. Well, I knew you were only playing tough. Like that time with Rufina and the chocolate. Stop, we're not hearing that story here. I wonder what happened. Ja, die Story, die haben wir ja schon gesehen in der Rückblende, ne? Ist das der Boys' Room? This is the boys' bedroom where I slept until I was about 10 years old. Technically the boys and girls weren't supposed to enter one another's bedrooms. That never stopped Reese here from doing it all the time though. What he neglects to mention is that it was his fault I did so. What else was I supposed to do when he slept and every morning he was on cleaning duty? Well, you could have just knocked on the door until I got up. But then I'd disturb the other boys who were sleeping, which would have been unfair. They weren't the ones shirking their duties. It was 100% your fault. Fine, fine, whatever you say. Ja, gut. Das ist das Girls' Dorm, denke ich mal hier, ne? This here's the girls' bedroom. The place where Rufina spent her nights. Same for you eventually too, Reese. I even used to sleep with her from time to time. Her bed was always cozy and smelled really nice. It was much nicer than sleeping in my own. After she left here, her bed became mine. I bet you were jealous. Haha, you bet. Das hier ist the girls, this is the girls' bedroom. This is where the action went on. It was at the time, I'll admit. I was at the time, admit. Oh, I thought you'd be a bit more flustered than that. I shouldn't have bothered saying anything. Give me a break. So, dann waren wir hier oben. Dann waren wir nur noch nicht hier. Wo es nach draußen geht, aber hier geht es um die Ecke in diesen Raum. Da ist abgeschlossen. The door is stuck fast and doesn't have a keyhole. Hä? This is a side entrance that only opens from the inside. We can't get in from the outside. Yeah, if you want to get into the chapel, we've got to go through the front. Okay, können wir ja. Ne? Ist hier sonst noch irgendein anderes Nebengebäude? Nein. Gut, dann können wir hier rein. Aber ist auch zu. Vergiss. Is it locked? Yeah. Well, whatever. We can't keep poking around. Aber wir haben doch schon alles gesehen jetzt, oder? Oder müssen wir hier irgendwo einen Schlüssel finden? In der Küche. Irgendjemand hat den Schlüssel gegessen. Weil wir waren jetzt... Hä? Habe ich hier noch was übersehen? Ist hier vielleicht der Schlüssel irgendwo? Im Zimmer von der Tante? Im Kinderzimmer irgendwo? Ist hier noch irgendwas? In Kevins altem Zimmer? In Rufinas Bett? Oder so? Ha. Ich sehe nicht, was wir sonst machen sollen. Hier können wir nicht rein. Warte mal, hier können wir noch auf dieser Seite weitergehen. Ist hier denn noch irgendwas hinterm Haus? Nee. Gar nichts. Warum können wir denn hier nicht rein? There's an empty well. Können wir da runter? Müssen wir uns hier die Blumen und sowas auch angucken? Nee, können wir nicht. Jetzt bin ich verwirrt. Irgendwas klappt hier gerade nicht. Ich war doch überall. Ich drücke einfach jetzt überall, wo ich lang gehe, mal die Aktionstaste. Vielleicht ist hier ja irgendwo ein Geheimschalter mit einem Geheimgang. Hier ist nix. Hier ist nix. Da ist nirgendwo irgendwas. Geheimgang. Ist hier irgendwo einer? Jetzt sind wir schon wieder durch. Was sollen wir hier denn noch untersuchen? Die Kisten hier. Da, das Werkzeug. Das war doch alles. Oder? Ist hier draußen noch was? Vor dem Tor. Ich sehe nicht, was ich machen soll. Ah, okay. Ich musste scheinbar durch diese Tür hier wieder rauskommen. There was no sign of anything in there. Our last hope seems to be the chapel. So it seems. Aber die ist zu. What is it, Kevin? Hey, Reese. You were the one responsible for cleaning the chapel that day, right? What day? On Esterhouse's final day. When Rufina died. Was heißt der Final Day? Kevin? You don't think... That was what I was told when I went to visit the matron afterward, at least. Well, were you? Yeah, I was. Why? Meinst du, sie ist nicht tot? I thought so. Check your pockets, Reese. I'm pretty sure the chapel key is in one of them. Huh? Yeah, eventually she found an old brass key. It can't be... Ah. Wait! Isn't another case of this world making thoughts reality? Honestly, I wasn't entirely sure you'd find it in there. But in all other areas on this plane, there was always a reason to take the person we needed with us. This just goes to show that you really were meant to come here, Reese. But... No, as disbelieving as I am, this is definitely the chapel's key. I suppose all we can do right now is try to go inside. Yeah. So, und damit machen wir jetzt die 7. Ebene auf. The door is locked. Before we go in here, Reese, there's something I should warn you about. Once we step through that door, there will be no going back. You're going to find out the truth about what happened that day, all of it, and you won't like it. Are you sure you're ready for what you're about to find? Ja, komm. I'm more than ready. All these years I've never quite been able to accept what happened here. The life I thought I knew just suddenly came to an end, with us all getting moved to other places, and I still don't even know why. I even tried to come back here just before beginning my training to become a squire, but it had already been demolished. I've been ready for a long time. I want to know the truth. And more than anything, I feel the knowing will let me get closer to you and Rufina. Okay. Let's head on in then. Right. Sehen wir jetzt, dass Kevin hier alles vernichtet hat, eventuell? Kevin, should the rest of us stay outside for now? No, actually I'd prefer if you came in with me. This is relevant to you guys too, in a sense. Okay. Das ist die Kapelle, aber hier ist bis jetzt noch gar nichts passiert. Es ist noch ziemlich ruhig hier. It all started 5 years ago. A Jägerkurs someone had hired took this place over and out of nowhere. By the way, how much do you remember of that day, Reese? Just so I know. I just remember a group of men in black forcing their way through the gate and charging in here. They tied everyone up, took the matron up to the 2nd floor, and then... Next thing you knew was you were in a bed in the hospital in town, right? After which you found out that Rufina and I had come to rescue everyone. And then she had died in the process. That about right? Mm-hmm. Just what happened, Kevin. All I've heard is that it was the work of someone who opposed the church, but I haven't had a chance to meet you since then, much less to ask you about it. Könnte Weißmann gewesen sein, ne? Hieß es nicht auch, der war früher auch mal ein Priester? I tried asking an instructor Selnate, but she wouldn't say a word. That doesn't surprise me. The Gralsritter's commander can't admit this orphanage was being used as a smokescreen for an artifact that needed sealing away. It what? Okay. Hier war also ein Artefakt versteckt. Here we go.
A secret passage?
Aha. Und was finden wir da unten? Wait! If there was an artifact here, you don't mean... Yep. Below here is a primal ground used to seal artifacts away. Just like the one underground the cathedral. Und was für ein Artefakt war das? Die Pillar of Salt vielleicht? I'm sure you remember. The day it all happened, Rufina and I were due to come back here for the first time in a while. We were both coming from different places. We'd been sent, so we wanted to meet up in town and come the rest of the way to here together. But then her train was delayed, leaving me in town to wait for her alone. That was when I got word of what happened. All I could think was that you and the other kids were in danger, so I decided to try and take out the Jaegers here alone. They weren't all that experienced, so fighting them wasn't even hard for a squire like me. Okay, wenn Rufina noch gar nicht da war, das ist jetzt die Frage. Wenn Rufina noch gar nicht da war, ist sie dann hier vielleicht gar nicht gestorben? Und in Wirklichkeit lebt sie noch, aber alle glauben, sie wäre gestorben? Vielleicht ist Rufina ja der Lord of Phantasma, wer weiß. Before long, I was able to disable them all and free the matron and the other kids. So I thought. You were nowhere to be seen. I asked the other kids where you were. They told me one of the Jaegers had taken you somewhere else and that you were unconscious. I looked frantically all over trying to find you before eventually stumbling across this place. As for now, you remember how you didn't have your ribbon in your hair when you woke up, Reese? I do? What does that have to do with anything? I found that ribbon in front of the secret passage we've just gone through. And there were new footprints near it too, made it easy to find the entrance. Oh, anyway, after getting in here, I made my way down the staircase in pursuit of the Jaeger that had taken you. Ja. Komm, sehen wir jetzt, was man hier finden kann? Was dieses Artefakt war? War es die Aureole oder so? Oder war es irgendwas anderes? Hey, Reese. Do you remember what I was like back when you first met me? Yeah. I was still young at the time, but it's as fresh as if it were only yesterday. Ja, er war so ein grimmiges Kind. You look like you'd been swallowed by blackness, like there wasn't a single thread of hope bound to you. It was scary. I kept wondering what must have happened to you, what you must have seen to make you end up that way. What must have happened to me, huh? Dieses Artefakt. Rufina seemed like she knew. Before I met you, I killed my mom. What? Maybe killed isn't the right expression. It's not like I directly did it. I still let her die, though. I've still got a responsibility for what happened. Was ist denn genau passiert? Growing up, it was basically me and my mom for the most part. My father showed his face from time to time, but not that much. From what I understand, he had another family elsewhere. But even without him, she did her best to look after me on her own. I loved her dearly. Kids in the neighborhood used to make fun of me for how I talked, which I got from her, but I just bet them up most of the time. Ja, super. Moralisches Vorbild. She was always kind, she loved cooking, and yeah, I thought the world of her. When I was 7, my father, who had all the money in the world, chose to abandon her. At the best of times, she was always a frail person, and after that, she grew more and more despondent. Her health suffered. I tried everything a kid could to cheer her up, but nothing did work. But nothing I did worked. And during one winter's day, when she must have finally had enough, she came over while I was sleeping and tried to strangle me. Okay, das nachdem du ihr so viel zugerechnet hast. I'm so sorry, Kevin. I failed as your mother. But I'm so tired. I'm so tired. At least this way, the two of us can. So könnt ihr weiterhin zusammen sein. I guess she figured that if we were both going to suffer, we might as well take the easy way out as a family. But I wouldn't let her take me with her. Before I knew what I was doing, I pushed her aside and ran barefoot out into the snow. I wandered around for a while after that. I couldn't understand what had happened or what she'd been trying to do. Eventually, I could feel myself getting hungry. I thought that maybe she'd been able to clear her head. I made my way back home, nervous as could be, and... Ja, da hat sie sich selbst erstochen. Ist wohl nicht so doll gelaufen. Ich weiß aber nicht, warum du dir die Schuld dafür gibst. Sorry for making you listen to all this. Still, I think that's probably when it happened. When my stigma was carved inside me. What? Ja, hat das jetzt irgendwas mit diesem Artefakt hier zu tun? Und warum hat er jetzt diese Geschichte erzählt, bevor wir hier reingegangen sind? Oh, guck mal, sogar Spiegelung im Wasser. Aber hier ist doch gar nichts. Where are we?
I would have thought a place like this existed after an orphanage.
This was where I finally caught up to the Jäger who had you with him. He probably didn't think anyone was gonna come after him. The second he saw me, he panicked, and putting his gun down, he ran over to this pedestal right in front of us. Yeah. On it was the artifact that required sealing away I mentioned earlier. The Spear of Lower. Das ist seine S-Craft. What's the Spear of Lower? Kevin's S-Craft. A malignant spear that transforms the body of its wielder into that of a monster. Also Kevin ist ein Monster. It's hard to believe something like that could be a gift from the goddess, right? In any case, the cornered Jäger grabbed it and used it. Und jetzt bist du der Träger davon? I didn't stand a chance. Much as I tried, I wasn't any match for the inhuman monster before me. He knocked me to the ground and then went to raise the spear against the still unconscious Eiyuu. That's all it took. Ja, dann ist das passiert. My stigma drew all of the spear's power from it into itself and blasted it, magnified countless times over into the Jäger's body. The result wasn't even a battle. Our precious home became a slaughterhouse. By the end, he wasn't even recognizable, the thousands of lumps of flesh strewn all over the floor. After defeating him, my stigma's power was still coursing through my body. I had never experienced anything like that before. I lost complete control of myself. Also hat er wahrscheinlich dann auch Rufina umgebracht und so. At this point, Rufina arrived, and she seemed to understand exactly what had happened. Using her bowgun and Templar sword, she was able to separate me from you and prevent me from doing you any harm. And then hast du sie umgebracht. Ja. Hat er. When I returned to my senses, I was in her arms, dumbfounded. Her body was full of holes all over, but she hugged me as tightly as she could. That's when she drew her last breath. Tja, jetzt hasst dich, Ries, oder? No. There it is, the truth you wanted. It wasn't that I couldn't save Rufina. I was the one who killed her. With my own hands, right in front of you. But you didn't... I didn't want to? Maybe not, but that's just an excuse. If I'd been able to control my stigma's power instead of letting it consume me and fill me with bloodlust, it wouldn't have happened. If I wasn't so weak, she'd still be alive today. That's not all either. Looking at her standing before me at that moment, she reminded me of my mother. She reminded me of Mom when she came to strangle me. Suddenly, this feeling of betrayal welled up inside me, this desire for revenge, so I filled her full of spares. I loved them both. I wanted to protect them both. And what did I do? I killed them both. Me. Why? Why did you... Why did I what? Why didn't you tell me this before? 5 years apart, and this is the first time you're telling me this? Sorry. I know I should have done it earlier. But now I have. And I'm ready for the consequences. Also ist das hier wirklich alles eventuell so eine Bestrafung für Kevin, dass er sie umgebracht hat? Aber wer ist dann der Lord of Phantasma? So go on. If you want to avenge her, do it. If anything, it would make me happy if you did. You're so stupid! What are you... You think I want to avenge her? That's not what I'm angry at all. Why have you shouldered a burden that great all this time, all on your own? We're family, Kevin. Why didn't you ever talk to me? Why didn't you ever let me hug you? Why didn't you let me do anything to help you? Weil das ein bisschen komisch ist, wenn jemand zu dir kommt und sagt, ey, ich hab deine Schwester umgebracht.
Please.
I finally understand. I always thought you were hunting down heretics as some kind of atonement for letting Rufina die. But that's not it at all, is it? Come on, Ries. I finally understand. You don't want to atone for anything. You don't want to get rid of your sense of guilt at all. You... That's right. He wants to be punished for what he did. Da kommt der Lord wieder. Oh, the Lord of Phantasma. You have my congratulations on making it this far. Beyond here lies the seventh plane. The place of my birth and the foundation of all planes hereafter. Thought so. And judging by now, we have to go through here to get there. Was right, wasn't I? Right about what? Allow me to ask you once again. So, Kevin Graham, do you really want to see the face underneath this mask? Ist es sein eigenes? Damn right I do. It's time to take that creepy mask thing and show us who you really are. Rufina Argent. Habe ich es mir fast schon gedacht.
With pleasure.
Rufina? I've missed you dearly, Rhys. And as for you, Kevin, I'm impressed you were able to work out my real identity. It wasn't hard, I had a feeling from the start. The answer was right in front of my face the whole time, and your every taunt should have made me that much more sure. The only reason I couldn't be until now was because I didn't want to accept the truth. Quite. You always were a weakling. You can imagine how surprised I was when you were able to defeat my strongest knight. You talking about the Blade Lord? Also, yeah, good. What connection does he even have to you anyway? I met him through my work, about 6 years ago. We were enemies at the time, but we managed to reach a compromise of sorts. And he felt he owed me a debt for as much. Alright, so you ended up summoning him in order to have him repay it? It's a crafty move, but that's not so out of character for you. Flattery won't get you anywhere with me. Still, now that you've made it this far, I assume you understand what I'm trying to do? Yeah, and I'm ready. Take me away. Was? Wait! What are you two talking about? Sie ist hier, um ihn zu bestrafen. I would have thought you worked the answer to that out already, Rhys. Do you recall what I said before? Kevin wants to be punished. Then I was born here in order to give him the punishment he strives for with his every breath. It was to that end that I recreated Phantasma into its current form and welcomed all of you here. All of this was a result of Kevin's desires. He wanted this to happen. You're lying. Sorry, she isn't. I couldn't tell you why it all actually happened. But what she says is true. Ich verstehe trotzdem nicht, warum die anderen hier sind. No. The seventh plane is likely somewhere made for the express purpose of punishing me over and over. A fitting hell for someone who let his own mother die and killed Rufina to suffer and rot. And once I'm dropped down there, this will all be over.
But that's not right.
You can't be serious, Kevin. Du hast deine eigene Schwester angegriffen, Rhys. What do you think you're doing, Rhys? That's not a very nice thing to do to your sister. Shut up! You're not my sister. My sister would never do something like this. Never. Rhys. You promised me, Kevin. You promised me that you'd never do anything that would make Rufina sad. So, what do you think you're doing? How can you believe sacrificing yourself for everyone would make her happy? Rhys, stop. Who are you to say it wouldn't? I might not be the real Rufina, but I'm a very close copy of her. If Kevin wants to be punished, why wouldn't I want to give him his wish? Because that's not how Rufina was at all. She'd never indulge something like that, not in 1,000 years. Think back to when you first met us, Kevin. You'd given up on the world, like you just wanted to disappear. But did she let you do that? No. She forced chocolate down your throat and dragged you right back into the real world, even when you didn't want to, whether you like it or not. Ja, das ist da passiert. Und du hast sie dann als Pädophile bezeichnet. Well, this is a surprise. You've grown a lot more than I was expecting if you're able to talk back to me. Stop talking to me as if you're my sister. You are not, and I won't stand for you defiling her anymore. Well, if that's how you want to do things, perhaps I should invite you in Kevin's place. Me? No! Jetzt nimmt sie mit. Warum? The rest of you can stand by and watch. Oh nein, evil eye. Yeah. Yeah. It's just like the one that Devil used. Please. Stop this, Rufina. She's got nothing to do with any of this. Oh, but she has. Consider this another part of your punishment. After all, if she suffers for all eternity in your place, that's going to make your suffering all the more potent, isn't it? Please. Go ahead and do your worst. Oh. Please. Drop me wherever you like. I'll live. I'm never going to let Kevin be alone again. I will come back to him. Fighting words, my sweet sister. We shall see whether you can make good on them. Und sie ist in der nächsten Ebene, oder was? Oh nein, das Stigma gerät wieder außer Kontrolle. Kevin? Jetzt müssen wir doch nicht mit Rufina und Kevin zu zweit weitermachen, oder? Das wäre irgendwie blöd. Mit Rufina sage ich schon, mit Ries und Kevin. So sieht die Hölle aus. So sieht also die Hölle aus, okay. Hey. Hey, Ries. Ab. Kevin? Ah. You okay? Feeling any pain? No, I'm okay, I think. But why are you... I fell through that crack alone. So why are you... You big dummy? Me? What were you thinking with all that taunting? Go ahead and do your worst. Drop me wherever you like, I'll live. And just how do you know you'll live? Oh right, you don't. But... You're a squire, aren't you? A rookie like you with no experience or proper judgment has no business making calls that put her own safety at risk. If you can promise to never do that again, then you and I both know you're not cut out to be part of the Gralsritter. That's probably what I should be saying anyway, but it would be real rich coming from me, huh? So, I let you off with that little bob there. Huh? Ja, du wolltest dich immerhin zuerst opfern. Komm schon. Look around us. This is at the 7th plane. Wow. Ist hier irgendwie nochmal Gehenna. Okay, ist hier irgendwie nochmal ein Punkt, wo wir dann wieder zurück können zur Gehenna. Yep, it's just like the Testaments brought to life. And I'm the one responsible for bringing it all. Oh. Bekommen wir nochmal einen Place, wo wir in den Garten zurückgehen können, dass wir unsere Gruppe wiederholen können? After all, if there's one place that's possible, it's Phantasma. I don't know how Rufina came back, but she did, with both memories and personality intact. And now I have the good fortune of being punished by one of the very people I wronged. I really couldn't think of a more fitting punishment for a bastard like me. Everything she said was dead on. More than anything, I wanted to be punished. I figured that by accepting that punishment, all of this would be done and everyone else could go back to their lives. I thought I could be just like her, sacrificing my own life so everyone else could be saved. But that wouldn't make me like her at all, would it? No. She might have given up her life to save ours, but that wasn't because she was happy to throw away her life to protect someone else's. It was because she saw literally no other option. With me unconscious, she didn't even have the choice to retreat. There was no way out of the situation without one of the three of us losing our lives. That's the only reason she chose to do what she did. Yeah. She was never the kind of person who would praise self-sacrifice as some kind of virtue. She'd only ever accept it as an option if all the others had been exhausted, and it was truly the only way. Right, but this time, that's not the case. You're here, I'm here, all of our friends are here. If we put our heads together, I'm sure we could have found another way out of here. One where no one would have to die. You must have realized that, and yet you tried to take the easy way out, didn't you? I hate to say it, but yeah, I did. That's a pretty shameful thing for a Dominion to be doing, huh? See, I've got no right to be criticizing you. I'm even less fit to be a knight than you. Still, standing around lamenting my own failings isn't gonna get us anywhere. So if you're up for walking, let's get ourselves out of here. Come again? What are you looking so surprised for? You didn't think I was gonna stay here and accept being punished for all eternity, did you? Well, either that or stay here and wait for Rufina to show up again. Listen here, Reese. I'm not gonna deny that there's a part of me, a big part, that wants to be punished for what I did. Or that there's a part of me that was overjoyed to see Rufina again, however it came to be. But I'm not alone down here. You're here with me, and believe me, that changes everything. As long as you're here, I'm not staying in this hellhole a second longer than I have to. We're getting out of here, you and me, no matter what it takes. Right. Okay. Alter, es ist noch nicht mal 5, ne? Und es ist dunkel draußen. Das ist der Winter, wie man ihn kennt, ne? Ich weiß nicht, ob ich jetzt noch weitermachen sollte. Was ist das hier? Switch power is overflowing from the orb. Ich kann hier resten. Okay, dann werden wir beim nächsten Mal weiter die Hölle durchqueren. Bis dann, Leute. Ciao.